Ceiling, stick it out, poke it out, poke it out, stick it out, poke it out. Ooh yeah, pinky ring, we're about to be deep. You told my Lambo that's drippy. Cadillac, the fight on that shit.
The soundtrack of your day.
That could be a fantasy. I can tell you got beat energy.
This is Power 95, where music lives. Ladies' Room comes to you compliments of Renwick and Thompson Limited, agents for Western Union, and Beacon Insurance.
Always be sure you settle for more. Get up to 35% off Beacon's fully comprehensive vehicle insurance and still cover a whole lot more. Enjoy higher discounts and better coverage for any kind of vehicle, car, SUV, or pickup with free loss of use, windscreen cover, and special perils. To sign up, call us at 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt and settle for more today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they are prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
And we are back in the room for the final one for the week, final ladies' room for this week, before we jump into our Easter holiday. Good morning again, everyone. So not good of you to join us. Who's here? Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Patsy Burke. Good morning, Christelle Richards. Nice of you guys to join us again for another show. Hold on. This is this. Yeah, thankful to be here again. Good morning, Giats. Y'all coming in, and let's get the show on the road. Good morning, Akira in Texas. Hope all is well. Yeah, we have an action-packed one for y'all again this morning on this Holy Thursday. And as we always say, traditions. We don't eat meat on thanks, Giads. We don't eat meat on Good Friday. Y'all breaking traditions, buddy. I know what's going on but it seems as though traditions seem to be going out the door. Because I remember back in the day. Thanks so much, Keisha. Good morning, Judy Ann. Good morning, Jenilyn. I remember back in the day, there was absolutely nothing on a Good Friday. Tradition was you stayed home, you cook your salt mackerel or your fish or your salt fish and provision or whatever you choose to cook with, and you just chilled on that day. There was no partying, and as a matter of fact, the old folks had it that you're not supposed to even go on the beach on Good Friday. That was that's how I grew up. You don't go to any water on Good Friday. But we outside apparently Good Friday, there's events and there's traditions or things are really changing, It's for the good, not the bad. I don't know, but things are changing. How many of you remember that on Good Friday you put your egg white in the sun and watch to see what it formed? Some say they saw the house, some say they saw cars, and it sort of predicts your future. You're gonna see your future. You crack the egg whites and you put it in a glass and you put it out into the sun on Good Friday morning, and you put your egg in the sun, and you literally stayed put for the day. You probably would be flying your little kite around your village or your neighborhood or what have you, but there was no jam and wine, no nothing. It was a day that we observed, went to church, day of prayers. You turn on the radio, you hear gospel all day. Things have really, really changed. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's certainly changed. Things that we held near and dear to us back in the day, with the younger population and all of that, a lot of it is going through the door. We remember the police never gave permission to have activities on a Good Friday. It was It's almost like blasphemy to have anything on a Good Friday. And even if you had something, nobody attended because we were so rooted in that, tradition that Good Friday, home, church, cook, no meat, your saltfish, your salt mackerel, or your cornfish, or your fish, but absolutely no red meat. But a lot has changed, so time changes and so do men. So I guess we have to move right along. There are some who are trying to hold on to it, but that's the older folks. The younger folks, it's all about action, and being cooped up for 2 whole years, almost 2 years. What is it? We outside like wet clothes. So we outside. Um, Brian, I've learned to not call people's, and that is a topic I stay away from, religion and all of that. I've learned not to call people's beliefs BS. Everybody has a right to believe in whatever they choose to believe in. I can't say what you're believing in is BS. You can't tell me what I'm believing in is. We all have a right to our own beliefs, long as it does not infringe on somebody else's right. That's how I see it. You're free to believe whatever you want to believe, long as you're not trying to push anything down my throat or force me to accept your beliefs. I don't necessarily subscribe to stressing about other people's beliefs, whatever it is. It's whatever for me, long as it's not interfering with me in any way, shape, or form. Hey, if you want to believe this guy's right on a Good Friday, hey, that's on you. As long as you don't try to convince me or try to push me in a certain direction. I respect everybody's choices and their beliefs, whatever it is. So yeah. Good morning, Karine. Good morning, Valmo. Good morning, Deidre. Good morning, Linda. Sonia, good morning. Yeah, you couldn't even break a leaf on Good Friday. You can't even go for you reach outside, they calling you back inside. But it is what it is. I'm thankful for the time that I grew up in because we got to experience so many things. The folks, young people these days, they have not experienced anything. They have not been a part of, traditions. They have not gotten to experience a lot of things. And I'm happy that I grew up in that particular time. So I'm getting the best of both worlds. Your experience, then now you're experiencing the shift and the changes. So they only know the 20s and the 90s to a certain extent. So they only know now it's about outside fun, blah blah blah. And there's a lot of things that they did not get to experience that we have. So I'm extremely grateful for that. I have the opportunity to see both, both sides of the coin. Someone says I still put the egg in water at 12 o'clock because I have a lot of yard fall every day I go to church. I've not done that in forever. Good morning, Ellen. Good morning, Andrea. So we have a situation on this Holy Thursday. There's a lot of others that I had, but I'm like, you know what? Let me keep it tame. It's Holy Thursday. Even though you believe or you don't believe, let's just keep it, in line with what's going on. It's funny y'all don't believe in things, but y'all, when you tell the boss, let me come to work, I am believing in Good Friday and I believe in Easter. Let me come to work Easter Monday. Open up, let me come to work. You're enjoying the holiday, but you're in supporting and you're not observing. So call your boss and tell your boss I'm going to work. Open the place, let me come to work. How about that? Yeah, right. So back to what I was saying. We have another situation here this morning to attempt to advise on. This person says, I am 27, been with this guy for 7 years, living together for 6 years. However, I feel like I've overstayed my time. Reasons for me saying this. One, he doesn't know how to communicate or work problems out. He ignores it. He finds I'm nagging him, etc. Two, we don't even make love, hardly kiss, and never get a compliment from him, and the list goes on. Up to this day, I still look for improvements from him. No man is perfect. Now, I just found out he has this close female friend. To me, there's nothing wrong having a female or male friend and just a friendship level. But whenever she texts or calls, he deletes it. I ask him why you deleted it if y'all are just friends. He replies, he just feel like deleted it. And we don't have anything going on. Mm-hmm. I know her long before I met you. She only calls me when I'm on work, and she's such a good friend. She always asks about you and my child, and she's the only one I tell my problems to and talk about life. So just imagine this. She says he rather takes our problem somewhere else after years I've been trying. So she wants to know if we think they're just friends and how to let go from this toxic relationship. I try, but somehow I find my way back in. Now, there's a lot of answers in the questions that you're looking for answers for, because to me, you basically answered it. Women leave a situation mentally, leave a relationship mentally before they leave physically. And if you're dealing with somebody for 7 years, living together for 6, and you feel like you've overstayed your time, you probably have. Because I don't understand how we are just shacked up in relationships and we don't have a plan as to where, okay, first year, all right, give or take, but 7 whole years, and you're just living together for 6, and you don't know if you're going or you're coming. However, you feel like you've overstayed your time. And to me, if you feel that way, you probably have. And maybe there's something, of course, you said there's a child. Maybe that's keeping y'all together. Maybe the fear of moving on, the fear of change. A lot of things, we stay in a lot of relationships and situations because it is what we are comfortable with. We are creatures of habit. We're comfortable in a particular place, even though we know. And Saisha was saying the same thing yesterday. That, Saisha, where are you? You need to fall in today. I should have called Saisha today. So how do you, like I was saying yesterday, or Saisha was saying yesterday, until you learn to love yourself first and realize something no longer serves you, then you're going to be in that predicament for a long time. You're going to stay, like you said, you've tried before, but you always find your way back in. This is no longer serving you. This relationship is no longer serving you, right? So maybe you just need to love on yourself a little bit harder and have a little bit more self-esteem and more self-love and respect and all of that to realize, okay, this is it. It's time for me to pack up my Georgie bundle and hightail it out of here, because this isn't going anywhere. And man always have friend. Nothing ain't going on. Nothing never going on yet. Even though you catch your red-handed, it's always nothing going on. It's always some story. One tell me one time that is the uncle child. Is the uncle child. Lord. You catch them. Nah, there ain't nothing going on. That's the uncle child. The uncle daughter. So there's incest now. Don't need to find out. Nothing so. Fully convinced as the man uncle daughter. Anyway, so you're asking, how do you let go of this toxic relationship? It starts by you realizing that it's not going anywhere and you physically getting out of it. Because based on the way you're talking, seems as though you're mentally out of it. Because just saying that you feel like you've overstayed your time to me is enough for you to realize there's nothing here going. There's nothing more to see here, really. Let's move along. The show is over. There's nothing more to see. Final curtain call, last bow, and head out. Exit stage right. Nothing more to see here. Let's and keep it pushing. Because you're gonna stay longer and then you're gonna get very bitter and it's gonna be very uncomfortable until he decides to up and leave you. And there you are back at square one. Because if as a man we can't communicate and say how you feel and tell me what's going on, but you have this very good female friend that you're talking our problems to, and you can't tell it to me, we have a problem. I'm not saying you can't ask for other people's opinion. You know, you have a very close friend. Hey, what you think about the situation? But I should be in on the situation as well. Let me talk about it first. And, you know, let's talk about it first. And if we can't come to some common ground and you figure, you know what, I need to speak to somebody else to get a different perspective. Maybe the both of us, we're just not getting it, but somebody with a different perspective could, you know, put us on the good path. But if everything you're running to this female friend with, and why you have to delete though? If it is just your friend, why does he have to delete anything? Things that really make you go, Whenever she texts or calls, you delete it. If it's just an innocent friendship, what are you deleting? Why are you deleting it? What is there to delete if it's innocent? What are you telling this lady about me? That's what I'll be saying. Sounds like he's probably bad. Listen, you talk about a woman that's bad mouth. Yeah, a lot of man that is bad mouth woman bad, eh? And make you seem like it's the worst thing, but you just date. They just jam in. So maybe he's telling her some things that he doesn't want you to see because it probably will hurt your feelings. Because if it's just friend, what is that to delete? Why are you deleting? My spider senses is telling me there's more than just, this is more than just a friendship. But it's not about me. It's about what you want to do. How to let go. You cannot change a person, you know? And again, that was a conversation I was having yesterday. You cannot change a person. Saisha said it again. They would have to want to change it for their own selves. And you stated that it's toxic. And you got with him. So you're 27, so that means you got with him when you were 21. So maybe you outgrew him. And if you really want it, maybe you should sit down and suggest counseling so you don't come across as nagging. Anytime a man don't want to hear what you have to say, it's nagging, especially when you're calling them out on the BS. It's always nagging. It's always. They never see it as, okay, you know what, I want to have a conversation with you. Maybe it comes across as nagging if we're going on and on and on and on and on and on every time the same story. But if we say let's talk about it, it's always nagging. Anyways, maybe you just need some time off for yourself, you know. Clear your mind, as this person says. If he doesn't want counseling to make it work, walk away knowing that you'll give it your best shot. Don't cheat. Give it a fair chance because you have a child involved. You know, build and improve yourself and move out. This person says, get your own. Yeah, because I mean, listen, relationships take a lot of work, you know. It's not always it will not always remain at the honeymoon stage. You know, when you just meet somebody and you're feeling those little butterflies, maybe you should drink some hot tea and just leave that relationship alone and pretend that it's gas. Because after a while, them butterflies disappear and they turn some big bud inside of you, beating you up. But long-term relationships can be like that at times, you know. Even if you're with somebody for a couple of months, if you don't actually work at it, it could get monotonous. We are humans, you know. We like challenges, we like, you know, excitement. And if you don't put your back in it, according to the song, and make it work, it could become monotonous. And what people do to break the monotony, they jump to somebody else. So then they come back home like nothing because they've got excitement elsewhere. Relationships require work, and the thing is, what you put in is that what you get out. And I've always described relationships as a business, you know. Treat it like you treat a business. You invest in it, and that's how you get, you know, your returns. You don't start a business and you just sit back and hope it takes off. You put in the work. You do all you've got to do to ensure that it's profitable, you know. Sometimes you may not want to do something, but your partner wants to do it. They may enjoy it. You may not necessarily enjoy certain things, but you just do it because that's what makes them happy, and vice versa. You know, it can't be a selfish thing. It can be, okay, this person wants to do the thing all the time and you just go along. And when it's your turn, it's just no. So I said long-term relationships can be, you know, it can get monotonous. It's like doing the same thing over and over and over. You have to break the monotony, find creative ways to make it exciting, do things together, go places, whatever. So says, what women think is communicating can be seen as nagging. Think about using the appropriate time to talk. Tips when not to bring up unnecessary talking as someone reach home from work, watching TV, etc., etc. Someone says, a post I can understand today. My girl, there are 5 stages of grief. I find you already reached the last one. You recognize and accepted the relationship is toxic. Therefore, you just need to let it go. You know, I know it's hard since you've invested a lot of time. However, your self-confidence is faltering. Your desires are left behind, etc. As someone who has been there, let it go. Let it go. Build yourself back up and be great. Because if you reach a point in your relationship where the intimacy is non-existent, that right there says it all. You said that you all don't make love. I don't know how you're in a relationship and you're not intimate with somebody. You hardly kiss, and women, we like those things. um you don't even get a compliment from him. I think you know where you're at. I mean, that to me suggests you're at the end of the road. What say you guys? What are your thoughts on this? Chime in.
Good day, good day, good day. Arana,
Mm,
the fact that she could say that she in a toxic relationship, that means she know it's toxic. Innit? So she need to work on herself and get out of it. Now there's three sides to her story. So a lot of females or a lot of people stay in relationship because of the financial support, the coitus and different things in it. So, but the fact that she knows it's toxic, then what it is that really keeping her there? Is it financial support? Is it kids? What it is? It had to be something. Because if you know it's toxic, then something obviously, if you know something not good for you, get away from it, innit? So she need to realize what really keeping her there, because she knows it's toxic already. So what it is that really keeping her there? But you know,
gotcha.
as I always say, sometimes when a person addicted to something, they have to admit that they're addicted before they can really seek treatment. So the fact that she admit and know it's toxic, she need to make that step now. But it had to be something that keeping her there. So she need to figure out what it is, and if it's something that keeping her there, she need to work on whatever is keeping her there, work on a solution to resolve it, and then make a move. And a lot of time people stay in relationship because of the financial support that they're getting from their partner. So yeah. Anyway, have a good day.
Alrighty. My thing is, and like I said a couple days ago, man, I wish the things that I know now, I knew it then, because there were so many things on people you wouldn't give your energy, and relationships you would have never entered into, or even, look twice at the person. If only you could look at somebody and see, what your crosses will be like. Good morning, Brenda. Thank you. Good morning, friends. You would not even give them the time of day. I wish that we had programs like these where you can talk and express yourselves and you could listen and learn, and not let people take you for granted and accept things that you don't have to accept. I just wish that our young women would get to that point and realize you don't have to, you know. Good morning. Hello?
Good morning, good morning.
Morning, your life.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, eh?
I don't know, but I hear they say that.
Taking it. How do we taking it to be calling and saying this kind of thing? Not saying these kind of questions. They had to be on drugs. Because they obviously know the answer if they have common sense before putting out to the public. That's my opinion.
This thing called love is a funny thing.
Let's not do drugs. Kids, let's not do drugs.
Stay away from
drugs.
It's
bad for your health. It impairs your judgment. Alright, so when she get off the sauce and she's sober up, tell her look in herself and she'll find out what is the best way to move forward. Don't depend on anybody else but herself.
Correct is right.
Alright,
Gotcha.
enjoy your day.
Thanks so much. And I always love when I hear men telling women these things, about self-love and loving themselves and sorting out themselves. Because you put your partner first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and you get the tail end. Put yourself first too. You deserve it. Good morning.
Good morning. Because generally we do not get the full story because we get one side. Mm-hmm. It is difficult to make a judgment just based on one side. So you call it as you see it. Toxic. Toxic could be very much what is toxic. I know what toxic means in its purest sense. What does she call toxic? What is toxic for you is not for me. Let me tell you something about NAG. NAG is not necessarily only continuously telling you about the same thing. NAG is also a tone of voice. There are some tone of voice you use that is just, even though it's one sentence, it's a nag. Another thing, we too quick to say, get out. Young people, you were just talking about young people, younger people, have this habit, reluctant to work anything out. Good things generally do not come easy. Relationship is not this in working good. I tell you twice about it. Let me go my way and get another one. You're going to get basically the same thing that you just left. Really, I have been taught. I am older than you are. You say a lot of things you didn't learn. I am 60 or thereabout. And I did not get here by not learning most things, a whole lot of things and whatever. I did not stay in a marriage relation for the end of this month, 34 years, by it being a bed of roses. Sometimes it's a bed of roses, but beware, all bed of roses have thorns. You have to work on things. You start off young. When you're young, generally people marry young, mid-20s, 30. You know a whole lot. Believe you me, at 25, you are absolute, almost stupidity compared to what you know at 40. Right, both men and women. The woman might be a little bit more mature, a couple of years ahead of the man generally at that age. We must not always say, get out of it. What are you doing? What different tactic have you tried? The man he sung like a bit of a prick. How he's getting on. I don't know. That's the whole story. What is he seeing? What are you doing? What do you do? You just get vexed because you're going out. So you find it difficult to talk to you. Because maybe you are very accusing. If there are some things you do not tell you because of how you react. I tell people throughout my life, my mother died this 36 years now. Is one of the people, the only person I told every single thing ever. She never was judgmental. You are wrong. She so calmly and beautifully tell you about another way you could have gone. And then it dawned on you long after she finished with you, Lord, Mommy thought I was wrong, Mommy thought I did nonsense. We have to be careful and we must not just tell people all the time, you're stupid, get out. Why try another people? What are you doing wrong? Where am I going wrong? Did I try this? Did I try that? Ask your mother, ask someone else who have been in it for a long time. You go to none of us here who just is like I am and have been in a relationship for basically more than half your life, have ever at any point in time found it continuously easy. It has been worked on by both parties. And when one party finds the other party and look at if they're working, try another tactic.
Gotcha.
Go to learn from somebody else. Sorry to be so long. Enjoy your Easter.
Thanks so much. Have a good one as well. All right, bye-bye. Well, we can only go on what's presented before us. We can only talk about what presented before us. Can do assumptions and what have you. Only going on what she's saying. But, the worst thing ever, and I'm not sure if anybody else could relate or you've had that. The worst thing ever is to be in a relationship and you feel alone. Like you're in a relationship, but you're lonely because there's not that support from your partner. Like she said, there's not this intimacy. They don't make love. They hardly kiss. Once that goes out the door, there is a problem. Especially when a man isn't even attracted to you like that anymore. Normally, even though we're having problems in other parts of the relationship, the bedroom is on fire, still going. The fire is still burning. But no bedroom, no nothing. Listen. Good morning. Hello? No. Okay, maybe you can return the call. I missed it. Sorry. Yeah. Imagine you're in a relationship and you're feeling like you're outside looking in on somebody else's relationship and you don't feel anything. It is one of the worst feelings in the world to be in a relationship and feel like you're lonely in your own relationship. Like I said, relationships require work. It don't happen by itself. You have to put effort and time and invest in it. Good morning. Hey, morning.
Well, you know, I'll say straight
Yeah,
straight
man.
from the horse's mouth.
Tell me.
I believe that he needs to stop and check to see if he's doing something wrong. She needs to stop and see if she's doing something wrong. And both of them need to sit down and talk to each other to find out what is the problem. Because if he go check himself and she don't check herself, they ain't go reach no way.
Agreed. So they have to.
Reach no way.
They have to.
They need to stop. Both of them need to stop and check this out.
And they have to ask if they really want this to work or if it's time for us to go our separate ways.
Exactly.
Or stop forcing it.
Already, you know what's going on. He needs to stop and check himself. She needs to stop and check herself.
Stop forcing it.
And once they do that, they could find a solution.
Gotcha.
I want to know if you want to go live for the weekend. If you want to go, let's go back there and go, you could chill. Hook me up.
All right. Have a good one. To Happy Easter. All right. I've told you all this. I'm at a point in my life where I'm not forcing anything under the sun. I'm not forcing friendship. I'm not forcing relationship. I ain't forcing ponytail. I didn't have to force that. My hair could go up in a ponytail, nice and comfortable, as you can see. If you had to put a whole pack of grease and a whole pack of gel and have to ram pack it and tie it down and force it up, leave it alone. Try another style. Stop forcing and let your hair roots breathe. Your hair follicles grow. If you can't go up naturally, put some braids or something that will put it up. But there's a lot of things I'm not forcing. And if it's not working, it's just not working. We are forcing things and unhappy in the process. Stop forcing. If it's not working, it's not working. If you've had a good 7-year run and you realize you can't make an 8th year, then you just can't. What's the point forcing it? And you're unhappy. You've tried. You're asking for the person to communicate. Let's talk about it. Let's find ways to get back to where we started. You will never get back to point like the very first time you met. You know, like I said, when you had all the butterflies and, you know, there was action and the excitement and newness of a relationship and everything was just sunshine and roses and smell good. Now you get to the part where it stinks. And you may not be able to stand the smell. So it's either you're prepared to clean it up or you move. You know, but staying and repeatedly saying you're unhappy and it's toxic and it's not gonna sort out the problem. It's not gonna fix the problem. So what are you gonna do about it? What's the plan B?
The young lady saying that they don't have a communication. If a man and a woman don't have a communication, why staying? Communication with relationship perfect. So the next lady watching she played.
The next lady washing she plates. Yo, y'all be killing me with these analogies, isn't it? The next lady washing she plate. Exactly. When communication is no longer, you no longer have communication. You no longer have any affection. No nothing. What is there to tell a person stay and do? No communication whatsoever. No intimacy whatsoever. What are you doing? And if a man you're not getting that from your partner, you can't force it from them. It's something they have to want to do naturally. And if they have to force it, then it's obvious they're not in the same space as you are. You all are not on the same level. You're not on the same page. Because like you said, one, he doesn't know how to communicate or work problems out. Seems everything is a confusion. He ignores it. He finds you're nagging. You're no longer intimate. No kissing. No nothing. No compliments from him, and the list goes on. And as you say, up to this day, you still look for improvements from him. Of course, understanding that no man is perfect. However, everybody has a breaking point. At some point, you have to knock the bus and say, "Hey, it's time for me to get off." Because they go leave you come every day. Go make trip up, trip down. You sit on the bus. You won't come off the man bus to get to your destination. At some point, you're gonna have to knock the bus and tell the driver, "Let me down, let me out now." You know, you just ride up and down, whole day, and no aim, no objectives. You ain't reaching your destination. When you get there, you have to knock the bus and tell them I'm ready to drop. So if you're trying and you're not getting that person, the person isn't meeting you halfway. At some point, you're gonna have to, say, you know what? Okay, that's it. But it's a habit we've had, and it starts, and it's something that you hear even from churchgoers. They will have serious problems. They're unhappy, and they continue to tell them stay and work it out. Why do we force people to work on things that no longer serves them? Go and make that up with your wife. Go and make that up with your husband. There's no making up. They've gotten to a point where it's a point of no return. There's nothing. You can't force feelings and force love and force nothing. So yeah, you might hear, okay, you know what? And not because people stay together means they're all happy. You would hear, oh, your grandparents and whoever stayed together for how much years and they had problems, and yes, they had problems, but grandma chose to stay because grandma didn't have a means of income. Grandma wasn't educated. Grandma didn't have anybody to help her. So grandma stayed, not because grandma was happy, but grandma felt like, you know what, I don't have a choice, and that's the only place for me to be. And even though I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life, I stay in and jam with grandpa. Stop looking at people who together for years and make it seem as though, you know what, oh, they're together for years. So it's not always sunshine and roses. There's a lot of people in long-term relations that are unhappy as hell, you know. But for whatever reason, they just can't leave, or they just don't want to leave. So, yes, Samuel?
You see, sometimes when a man communicates and he says exactly what is wrong, women don't listen. And if a man finds that he's saying the same thing over and over, eventually he stops talking. And she's going to pretend she doesn't know what is wrong, or she's going to be in denial. He has already stated his case, and he believes that it's up to her to check herself. Whereas a woman would say the same thing over and over and over again. When a man finds that, you know, a woman isn't complying, he has nothing else to say. And maybe this is really a relationship right now. So what she needs to do is to sit and think about what he has been saying and try and understand how she can work her way out of it. Or, you know, maybe he's done and she has to come to terms with it.
I think so. I totally agree. Because sometimes men don't want to be the ones to say it. They just, you know, don't care. So you'll take a hint. Because as much as they're moving on, they still have that soft spot for you, don't want to hurt you. So they're hoping that you are the one who'll take a hint and say, you know what, I'm out. So at the end of the day, I still suggest that you sit and have the conversation and let him know where you're at, what you're thinking, and based on his response, you will know whether it's worth you wasting your time or it's time to move on. Have the conversation again. And a lot of times it's fair. It's a fear of starting over. Yeah, like I said, we are creatures of habit, the fear of starting over again. And we have this saying, you know, better the devil you know and the one that you don't, or something like that. So you know what, let me see trouble with this person than take a chance with somebody else who could be better for me, who could be way better, who could be all that I'm looking for. But just the fear at the back of your mind. What if I leave all of this and then go with somebody else and make me see more trouble than this one? But you will never know until you take a chance. That's what life is about. If you have to start over 50 times, by all means, start over. I would start over 1,000,000 times than be in a situation that makes me unhappy and is not serving me. Call me what you may. At the end of the day, you can't call me unhappy and stressed. So yeah, I'm stress-free moving on. Stress-free starting over. Instead of staying in a situation because of fear of moving on or fear of what people will say. And they go say, oh, you're the next woman again or you're the next man again. But when you did crying in the night, your head hurts in you, you're losing weight, you can't eat, you know, all kind of stress, you have gas, your chest hurts in you, tension, anxiety, you're in pain, you have headache every minute of the day. Like I say, all you go until the doctor see all you. Steady and fight up, Papa. I shall move on. Last one.
Some point you have to.
All right, until I say, stop wearing boxer shorts and go to bed or walk around the house with it. And wear some slinging shot. I might change things and spice up things. I think she's saying the truth. And she had to start talking about them boxers. I think she walked around the house with them big t-shirt. She had to stop that. I'm a man, and I know, I mean, not all men are perfect. But a lot of times in a relationship, you see females, they don't love themselves. So they cannot love a man properly. And this does be the issue that they can never satisfy basically. No matter what a man do, they can never satisfy because the simple fact, they don't love themselves. They don't know how to love so they don't know how to receive love. But sister, she need to take some time and love herself, and that has been a big issue. And they keep blaming other men or blaming somebody else because they're not treating them right, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. But the simple fact is because they don't know what is love, how to love themselves, and what is love. So whenever they get good love or they get bad love, they don't even know the difference.
You're preaching to them, my friend. Yeah, don't say.
All right. So, for instance, my girlfriend closed the door on me. What I mean to stay? I mean to go. If she closed the door, she say, "Well, all right, she closed the door." I mean to go.
The man and them talking these days, boy. You know what, all about at this stage of my life. That's how I feel right now. I'm not staying in nothing that's stressing me. I'm not. See me a gun. Anyways, I gotta go. Once it starts to stress, and I want other folks, men as well as women, because it's not only women that have issues. There are also men who stay for whatever reasons, and you're not happy and you're stressed, etc. The same applies to you. Learn to know when something no longer serves you. Learn to know when it's time to let it go and move on and stop holding on for dear life. And at the same time, you're dying inside. It does not make any sense. It really doesn't. Yeah. It has been another fantastic week. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. A long weekend ahead of us. Reminding everybody to be on the safe side. Remember, COVID-19 is still in our midst. It all boils down now to personal responsibility. If you check the dashboard, you'll see we have some new cases, and it's climbing a bit. So again, there's a lot of activities this weekend where you'll be in crowds and what have you. So you do what you think you've got to do to protect yourself. All right. Yeah, we outside. We outside. No regulations, no restrictions, no nothing. But we still have to be careful. So I want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Usually folks go to the beaches, what have you, waterfalls, and enjoy themselves. Parents, guardians, please be careful. Look out for your children if you're taking them to the beach or wherever you're taking them where there's water. Make sure that you look out for them and keep an eye on them at all times. And for you on the road, y'all, I know you'll be taking some load, alcohol load. Please, please, please watch your intake. If you're driving, again, exercise caution. And be careful. All right, we want to have a safe, accident-free Easter holiday. Alrighty, so again, everyone, have a good one, and thanks so much for powering up. Thank you so much, Beacon Insurance and Western Union, for making it possible for another week. I'll see you guys next week. All right, stay right here. It's Power 95.